Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it's Diego with the beautiful Karina, my wife from Venezuela. We went through the K1 visa process just like you. Karina went through the green card process just like you. Karina has her green card. She got her K1 visa approved at the U.S. Embassy in Bogota, Colombia. She was given about 12 questions and she answered them all just like that. Because she knows everything about me, I know everything about her, and we've been dating for almost 3 years. And then Karina came to the United States. We flew from Bogota, Colombia to Miami, Florida. And we got married on January 14th, 2024. Uh, and here we are. So we have been through the trenches. I've got 10 years of experience processing K1 visas and green cards. 10 years. 10 years. I know how to do this. I can do it in my sleep. You don't need an immigration attorney. You don't need to spend all that money. Okay. Use that money for your honeymoon, for your wedding, for more trips back and forth to see each other. I'm not an immigration attorney. I don't work for USCIS. I don't give you any legal advice. Okay. But I have got 10 years in the trenches, wading through the immigration mud puddles, saving people from stupid errors, saving their visas and their green cards from stupid errors. So we put this channel together so I can give you all this information that I carry around in my head. I give it to you for free. I got all these hats from Colombia right here. I don't know. Karina bought me this one in Bogota. This one's from, I don't know, this one's from Colombia. Our landlord in Colombia bought that one for me. This is one Karina Cartagena. She bought me that in Cartagena, Colombia. This one's from Venezuela. This was Francois' idea for this hat. And then I got my Mountain Dew hat right there, which Karina bought me for Father's Day. So I got a lot of hats. But today I'm wearing this one. But we are here to answer your questions, okay? And if you are stuck in the process, if you don't know how to do something, if you don't know how to fill out the Form I-129F, I can help you. If you don't know how to fill out the Form I-485, the adjustment of status paperwork, I can help you. If you want to learn how to change your last name, Mrs. Beneficiary, to your husband's last name, I can help you. It's Monday, October 28th, 2024, and Hannah is in the house. She gets the first word on the live stream, going around the world at the speed of light. Now, how fast is the speed of light? Well, the light can travel around the earth in what, 7 seconds, one time? And it's 188,000 miles per second. I don't know, something like that. But the speed of light, you are now live around the world on this channel. Thank you, YouTube. We appreciate you. Hannah, hi to everyone. Hi to all. Hi, Hannah, how are you? And K Messenger, hola Diego y Karina, ¿cómo estás? Ustedes espero que bien. We're here. We waited for you also. We're glad you're here, K Messenger. Yes. And I'm going to give K Messenger the first Mountain Dew salute because he gave us an awesome super chat. So I was able to go to Walmart and get some Mountain Dew. But I got it in these cans now. I don't know. I was going to go from the plastic bottles to the cans. Who knows? And K Messenger is 365,000 feet per second. That's fast. That's pretty darn fast. Claire and Madsen Vlogs question. My husband is here on a K1. That's good. Applied for the I-894 and got an RFE saying I don't make enough. My kids don't live with us. I don't claim them on taxes. What more can I do? I think they made a mistake. Did you include the children on your affidavit of support? When you filled out the affidavit of support, what was your family size? Was it 2? Was it 2? How many people did you put on the 864? Not the 894. It's the I-864. How many people? If you put 2 people and your income is $5,000 or $6,000 above 125%, you should be okay. I showed the child support. I only claim 2, my husband and I. Okay, so you filed the 864. You claim 2 people, your husband and yourself. So you need to be making about $5,000 or $6,000 above 125% of the minimum income. If you're right on the money, if you're right on 125%, immigration is going to want to see a joint sponsor. You said that let me see here. So you filed as two. For two, it says I need $25,500. That's the minimum. That's what the minimum is. Okay, for a family of two at 125%. But to make immigration happy, you got to make at least $31,000 a year. Okay, to avoid getting an RFE for income. Immigration says you only need to make $25,500 minimum income for a family of two for the green card. But in reality, you need to be making about 30 to 35,000 at a minimum. 31,000, 30, 31, 32,000, right in there. And then you won't have to have a worry about a freaking RFE. Immigration says this, but then they turn around and do this. Okay? That's why you're on this channel, so you can be ready for that. Let me see. Claire and Matson, I showed the child support. I only claimed two. Okay. So you need to be making around 30 grand a year, $31,000 a year to avoid a RFE. Let me see here. K Messenger, we filed for green card and we was received August 26th, 2024. We went to schedule a cruise for March of 2025. What's your opinion? My opinion is don't leave the United States until you have a 10-year green card. While you're on a 2-year green card, it's probationary. What does that mean? Well, that means that the Border Patrol officer, when you return to the United States after your cruise and you go through the passport control, if the Border Patrol officer's having a bad day and he decides that, hey, I'm going to block this person from re-entering on their probationary green card, he has the authority to do that. I wouldn't go anywhere until you have at least the 10-year green card. But if you're going to go on a cruise with your 2-year green card and you're going to take a chance that the immigration will let you back in the country, make sure you bring with you your marriage certificate, evidence of you being married, pictures together, bank statements showing that you guys are on joint bank accounts. You got to show that you're on the water bill, the electric bill, the gas bill, the phone bill, health insurance, homeowners insurance, whatever. The rent receipts or receipts for your house, for your payments, your house payments or whatever. Or if you don't have a house payment, you got to come back to the United States with all this evidence ready at the ready, just in case the Border Patrol officer says, well, I need to see evidence of your relationship. You're on a probationary green card. It's 2 years. You're here on a probationary green card. And K Messenger, we have all those issues covered. Okay, well, bring those with you. Bring all that stuff with you, including the marriage certificate. And if you got driver's licenses together at the same address, bring all that stuff with you, because you might get asked they might ask you to look at it. Maybe, hopefully they don't, but they could, okay? Red Rito. Hi, Diego and Lori and Karina. Yes, Karina. Yes, so it's Rio. What's going on, Red Rio? Claire and Madsen vlogs. For two, it says I need $25,500. That's what it says. But that's like walking across the tightrope. But you're walking across Niagara Falls on a tightrope. Immigration want to see at least 5 or 6 grand above the minimum. So if you make 25.5, okay, you need a joint sponsor. 211 Scooter. Hello to you both. It's been 11 months for the I-130 for my wife in Ethiopia. So you're going through a CL1 spousal visa. The USCIS website said I was down to 2 months, then 5 months, and 2 days ago updated to 10 months. Processing time. Well, I want to give you a Mountain Dew salute for going through a spousal visa, because a spousal visa may be less money than a K1, but it sure takes a lot longer. Hang in there, 211 Scooter. We got you. We got your back, okay? We're going to help you get over the finish line. Hannah, I passed the written and the road driving test, and I received a document about it. So can I apply for the driver's license in Michigan while waiting for my green card and work permit to get adjudicated. No, you can't. You can't drive in America unless you have a green card and a social security number. You got to have your green card. Once you get a work permit, the work permit's gonna the driver's license office will let you have a driver's license with a work permit, okay? But it's going to be as long. It depends on the state. You live in Michigan, so I don't know what the rules are. But in Florida, you cannot get a driver's license unless you got a green card and a social security number. With a work permit, then you're going to be working off the I-94. How long is the I-94 good for? 90 days. So if Karina went in and got her driver's license with her work permit, it's only good for 90 days because it would expire when her I-94 expires, not when the work permit expires. So we waited for her green card to get here. Karina went in, took her driver's test, her written test, passed with flying colors, took her driver's test. She has her driver's license. But the first thing they did was they look at her green card. And then they go on the computer and they put in her alien number and they match it up with Tallahassee, which is the state of Florida, the capital city. And then they match it up to the feds in Washington, D.C. or wherever it is. Everything, all the dots were connected. The federal government said, yeah, Karina's here legally. Tallahassee said, okay, she's good. And then the driver's license office issued Karina her driver's license. But number one thing they asked for was her green card. Okay, not the work permit, green card. Claire and Madsen vlogs. I don't make much more than that, and I can't have a second sponsor. What will happen if I don't have it? Well, if immigration sent you an RFE, they're going to ask you for a joint sponsor. So you got to find a joint sponsor. You got to ask around, ask your family, ask your friends. All you're trying to do is adjudicate the green card, okay? Just tell them to, if you find somebody that can be a joint sponsor, just tell them to relax, that you're not gonna bother them for any money. You just need them as a security blanket to get the green card, okay? To make immigration happy. Like I said, if you only make the minimum, and immigration says you got to make $25,500 a year. I think that's what it is for a family of two. Let me see right here. What they're really saying is it's actually $25,550. You got to make $25,550. What's the qualification? That's the qualification. But the immigration is going to want to see at least 30 grand, 31, 32, 33, $34,000 a year. Well, they're going to ask for a joint sponsor. Sorry about that, but that's the way. That's not my rule. Okay, that's immigration. The officer, they're getting strict on the income. Let me see. So Claire and Madsen vlogs, you got to find a joint sponsor. That's what's going to come in the mail. They're going to want to see it. Francois Livingston, are we back on Mondays or is this a Halloween trick? No, Larry was saying we need to continue with the Monday live stream. I was doing Wednesdays and Saturdays, and Larry was saying, no, we need to do Mondays. And seeing as I got nothing else better to do, I said, okay. So the first day back for the Monday for Larry. Larry's here right now, but he wasn't there for the live stream. I'm like, okay. Go figure. K Messenger, we followed your advice. We have all those issues covered. We followed your advice. Mountain Dew salute to K Messenger. But remember, if you leave the United States on a 2-year green card, okay, the Border Patrol officer has a right he can block your reentry. So if you want to make sure you don't get your reentry blocked because you got a Border Patrol officer having a bad day, make sure you carry all those documents with you on the cruise. So if you get questioned, okay, like I went on a cruise years ago. I went on a cruise years and years ago. I'm a U.S. freaking citizen. I have a U.S. passport. I was leaving the cruise ship in New Orleans, and the Border Patrol officer says, hey, come here. I said, what? What do you want? Yeah, I want to see your passport. I said, okay. So he took my passport, and he's looking at it, and he gets a little thing, and he's looking at it. I said, what, did you lose your lunch money in there? What are you looking for? He said, no, you're good, sir. Thank you very much. I'm a U.S. citizen, and he gave me a hard time. Okay? Maybe he was jealous because he can't afford to go on a cruise. But coming in the United States on a green card, 2-year green card from a cruise is, like Austin Powers says, living dangerously. Let me see here. K Messenger, you got all those things. Red Rio, Diego, almost a month already. We submitted the adjustment of status, but till now we didn't receive notification. How will we know if they receive our packet to do inquiry? Did you include Form G1145 in your green card application? Red Rio, when you filed for your green card, did you include a Form G1145? I'll write it right here. You got to put this form in there. Because once you do that, immigration, once they open up your green card packet, okay, they're going to send you a text message with your receipt number for your green card and a receipt number if you decided on the work permit. That's how it works. You got to put that G1145 in there. Once they open your box up with your fantastic green card application, they will send you a text message and say they received it. Now, also, you got to send it via FedEx, UPS, or DHL. Because then FedEx, UPS, or DHL will also send you a notice. You can track your package with the courier service and say, okay, it was received on this day in Chicago or wherever, signed by this person, so you know they received it. Now you got to wait for them to open up the box, pull out the 1145, and send you a text with the receipt number. So that's what you're waiting on, okay? K Messenger, would not have known that without your help. K Messenger, I'm keeping you guys from having any immigration headaches. Mountain Dew salute, and we're going to put pixie dust all over that cruise. Lots of pixie dust on that cruise. But I would recommend you don't do it. Honestly. Is it really worth it? I would just wait until you get the 10-year green card. But if you want to go on the cruise, make sure you got the all those documents I said with you, okay, to show the Border Patrol. Larry Piercy is online. Well, we're here with you, Larry. It's Monday. You said you wanted us to do the live streams on Monday. Here we are. Monday, Wednesdays, and Saturdays. Maybe I'll do it 5 times a week. Mondays. How about I take off Saturdays? No. Maybe I take off Sundays and Tuesdays. What if I do it 5 times a week? Would you guys like that? I don't know. I got nothing else to do. Claire and Manson Vlogs, what about the savings? Can I apply that for the difference? No, they want to see income. They want to see income. Immigration, take into account your savings account. Okay? They take into account your assets if you included that in the green card application. Okay? Now, if you got a $250,000 in your savings account, then you're good to go. Cash is king, right? You got to have at least, I would say, $50,000 or more in your savings account to overcome an RFE on a joint sponsor, at least 50 grand. Because that's enough money for you to live on for a year, I would say, while your green card gets processed. And then your wife can get a job, or husband, whoever's watching. Okay? You got to have at least 50 grand in the bank. And under Bidenomics, you probably need to have $100,000 in the bank because it costs $5 for a loaf of bread. You know, how much is a pound of ground beef now per pound? It's insane. You know, Bidenomics is basically destroyed the middle class in this country. That's why we're having an election in about 9 days. And he's out of here. Let me see here. Savings accounts are good to overcome an RFE for income as long as you got about 50 grand in there, I would say, around there, which is about 1 year's worth of cash for while you're waiting for the green card to get adjudicated. Chris and Emil, Larry Piercy, you are on the wrong channel. Larry Piercy said, oh, I want you guys to do the Monday live stream. So last Monday I did a live stream. Where was Larry? He was nowhere to be found. He was somewhere. Larry Piercy, thanks, Karina, for the Go-In biometrics appointment ahead of time. There you go, Larry. You would, if you didn't know that, You would have been waiting for a couple of hours for it to go, right? There you go. Karina knows this stuff as well as I do. Larry Piercy, why Chris? Chris and Emma, I thought you was on a trip. No, sir, sweating out the green card, says Larry Piercy. What are you sweating, Larry? There's nothing, you just got to wait. It's like, you're just waiting. That's all it is. Chris and Emma, Larry Piercy, you have to make America great again. Well, I think America has always been great. But when you get communists and Marxists in the government, like we have, like right now, Biden and Kamala Harris are Marxists, okay? They destroyed our economy in a year? They decimated our economy. But we have an election, and elections have consequences. And November 5th, okay, the Kamala Biden Marxist reign of terror will be over. And then Trump, I'm sure, is going to win the election, will commence his putting his cabinet together to start a new chapter in America in January of 2025. Let me see. Hannah, but I have Social Security number. As per Michigan rules, I can use the receipt number on the I-790 to apply for the driver's license. But how long is the I-790 good for? While waiting for my adjustment of status and work permit. Well, in Florida, you cannot use an I-79. You cannot use the green card approval letter for a driver's license. You got to have the green card in the hand. Right here in Florida. Michigan may be different. If you can get your driver's license with your letter, your NOA letter with the approval of your green card, then go ahead and get it. But make sure, if you can, because Michigan has their rules and Florida has their rules. I live in Florida. Karina lives in Florida. We go by Florida rules. We don't live in Michigan. If Michigan has a different rule for the driver's license, then go get your driver's license. But make sure you check the expiration date on it. I want you to get your driver's license, okay? But where we live, you got to have a green card. 211 scooter. If I move within the same city while going through the I-130 spousal process, will that add considerable processing time? Only if you don't tell immigration. Because if you don't tell immigration, they're not going to know where to send your paperwork. What if you get a letter from immigration? Oh, we need this from you. They got to be able to find you. If you move while you're in a spousal visa, okay, make sure you tell immigration what your new address is. Okay? Once you get to the United States, like if Karina and I move, if we move somewhere, okay, Karina has to notify immigration through her form she has to fill out. I got to notify immigration through my form that I got to fill out. We got two forms we got to fill out. Karina has to fill out her form. I've got to fill out my form, and we got to notify immigration where we move to within, I think it's like 30 days. What happens if you don't do that? Well, I go to jail. Karina gets deported. Look at we got a super K-Messenger super sticker from K-Messenger keeping us in Mountain Dew this week. Thank you, K-Messenger. Now, K-Messenger, lots of pixie dust on your cruise. I want you to go have fun on your cruise. But make sure you bring all those documents with you so the Border Patrol officer cannot deny you re-entry because you got evidence that's going to be perfect. You're going to tell the immigration officer, the Border Patrol, the Customs, whatever you want to call them. Here's my evidence of being married, living together, etc., etc., etc. And then he'll let you back in the country. But lots of people, they get their 2-year green card, and then the first thing they do is they fly back to their home country where they started from with their husband, and they don't bring any documents with them. They don't have their marriage certificate. They don't have any proof of living together, cohabitation, nothing. Then they go and they come back, and the Border Patrol officer says, possibly, okay, you're on a 2-year conditional green card. Show me proof of your relationship. I want to see your marriage certificate. I want to see your driver's licenses. I want to see your services bills. I want to see your joint bank account statements. I got to see all that. If you can't produce it, then your new wife that just spent 2 years waiting to get here isn't going to be let in the country, because the Border Patrol can block and take away the green card. Don't get into that trap. Let me see. So thank you for that super sticker. And Karina's, well, thank goodness Karina's here. K Messenger, I worry about being on top of the water. I prefer below the surface. Well, I was in the Navy for 20 years, so I've been on a lot of cruises with the Navy. I'm not going to say it was a fantastic experience, especially when the weather was bad. Okay. I worked with people who were deployed on fast attack submarines and fleet ballistic missile submarines. My job was to work with those folks, and they kept trying to convince me. They said, "Hey, why don't you join us and become a submariner?" And I said, with all due respect, I can't hold my breath for 6 months. And I was just kidding, okay? I can't go underwater. I can't do it. I'd be hyper, what is it? Claustrophobic? Okay? But if you can, the people that join the Navy, the United States Navy, and go on our submarine service, man, I salute you guys. And also ladies, because that's tough duty. Larry Piercy, November 5th, I voted first hour of opening. Okay? And I'm sure as for Trump, right? I know you're voting for Trump. I know you're not going to vote for Marxism, because we're in a capitalist republic. We live in a free market economy. But Kamala Harris seems to think that, she can control prices. She said she's going to put in place where the federal government controls prices. She's going to tell Walmart how much a loaf of bread's going to be. Well, Nicolas Maduro in Venezuela, he did the same thing in communist Venezuela. And you see how that worked out for them, right? Kristen Ammo. Yeah, I heard Pennsylvania, someone set Dropbox on fire. That's not good. But the thing with these mail-in ballot drop boxes, okay, is they can be easily fraud. It's easy for fraud, for voter fraud. Let me see. Red Rio, yes. Red Rio, thanks Diego and Karina. Mountain Dew salute to Red Rio. Hannah, the rule for the driver's license is saying in Michigan, expired immigration documents along with Form I-797. Notice of action, showing the new documents have been applied for. Okay, so if you can prove you've applied for your green card in Michigan, okay, then go and see if you can get your driver's license. But in Florida, I could bring that paperwork for Karina and they'd laugh at me and they say, come back when you got your green card in your hand. That's in Florida. But Hannah, I want you to get your driver's license if you can get it. Ryan Redwood. Hey, Diego, hope all is well. We are good, Ryan. We're doing excellent. Larry Piercy. Yes, 5 days a week. Let's cover lots of things, like adjusting to America. I'm lucky my wife loves America and Trump, and she's never wrong. Your wife's never wrong. Karina's never wrong. What is it? And Karina's Venezuelan, and your wife is Thai, and they're both never wrong. So something's going on there, right? Which is good. God did well, does a good job with his work, right? So maybe I'll just do this 5 days a week. No, Karina's not. She got other stuff to do. But Karina can be sitting with me like 3 times a week, and I'll do it 2 more extra times, and then we can all hang out and chat. Let me see. Hannah, go and see if you can get your driver's license, okay? If you can get it, I'm going to put pixie dust on it for you. Claire and Madsen Vlogs. Worst case scenario will be that you won't get the green card. If you can't get the income where it needs to be, they're not going to give you the green card. If I can't get a sponsor or make the money, will he be deported? He would have to go in front of an immigration judge, and an immigration judge would make that decision. Now, that's not legal advice, okay? I just think I know that's what's going to happen. If you can't prove income, if you can't get a joint sponsor, they're not going to just throw him out of the country. He'll go in front of an immigration judge where he can plead his case. And then an immigration judge will make that decision. Yes or no? He's got to go home or no? What I would do, okay, is look for a second job. That's easy to say, right? But you just got to cover the income for right now. Just for right now. Cover the second job, okay? Look for a second job and then show that you have a second job and say, look, my income just went up 10 grand a year. I'm working the second job. Get some pay stubs and then you're good to go. Do you see what I'm saying? I don't want you to lose your green card. Your husband, I don't want him to lose his green card, okay? But I do want you to qualify. And you can qualify by getting a second job. Let me just tack something in here real quick. I'm going to double check that. But I'm saying to you, if you can get a second job, that will cover you. Larry Piercy. So the Claire Madison vlogs. I don't think you get deported because an immigration judge isn't going to be that heartless. Okay? But it's going to put you in a difficult position. You don't want to be in that position. Larry Piercy, I was in New Orleans the first Monday, got there a week early. You were in New Orleans. I love Mondays and any day that ends in AY. Well, I do too, especially when I'm on this side of the grass. Chris and Ammo, Larry, make sure you don't get any surprise tickets in New Orleans. That's right. You can get a ticket in New Orleans if you were 1/10 of 1 second late going over a freaking red light. And you didn't see it. K Messenger, thank you for your great service. And thank you for your great service. Now, K Messenger, you said you served on a Fleet Ballistic Missile Submarine 625, right? Which is the big boys. The fast attack submarines, those are I'm not going to say what kind of torpedoes they carry or anything like that, but the SSB, because I'm not going to put that out here, but the SSBNs, they carry those big boys. In the past, I remember watching an SSBN shoot off a Poseidon missile, but I don't think Poseidon has become obsolete, so I can say Poseidon. But I was out in the North Atlantic. We were doing tests with a SSBN. Now, the SSBN 625 is the USS Henry Clay. Correct me if I'm wrong. Larry Piercy, I think K Messenger is drinking. No, he's good. Chris and Emil, Bud Wise for Larry Piercy. Budweiser. Okay. But I just wouldn't say the other. Larry Piercy, yes, ma'am. Franny. Larry Piercy, do you think Trump all the way? Look, President Trump, okay, he's a capitalist. He's an entrepreneur. He built the skyline of New York City. He built New York City, basically. And Kamala Harris, the only thing she built was headaches for the American people. Now, I got no personal issues against Kamala Harris. I'm sure she's a lovely lady, a great family. But I want somebody in the freaking White House that's going to fix our economy so people can afford a house again and buy a car. I mean, Karina, she likes SUVs. A freaking SUV's what, $80,000? That's insane. Why is it so expensive? Because of Biden-Harris and their Inflation Reduction Act, which was just a joke. So we got to get Trump in there, not because he's a Republican. I'm not a Republican. I'm independent. I couldn't care less about Republicans. They're as bad as the Democrats, most of them. But what I want to see is a capitalist in there. If Trump knows how to build New York City, he knows how to build a country. And he doesn't take any crap from any of these foreign leaders that have been ripping us off for the last 50 years. Red Rio, Diego, we found out that the phone number we put on the G1145 is our home number. They can't text a home number. You got to have a cell phone. But the thing is this, Red Rio, you got to make sure that you check the courier service. Francois, happy Veterans Day early for that super chat from Francois.
Thank you, Francois.
Happy Veterans Day to everybody early. In America, you got to learn these things. You are coming to America to live. You got Veterans Day. Okay, you got Labor Day. Now, what is Labor Day? What's Labor Day? It's not giving birth to babies day. Labor Day is when you celebrate the workers of America, right? Thanksgiving Day. What's Thanksgiving Day? We're thankful for everything we got. Thank you. We are thankful for everything we have in this great country. Okay. We got Christmas. Well, we know what Christmas is, but in America we don't have Boxing Day. In England, in Canada, in Australia, I think they celebrate Boxing Day, which is a holiday the day after Christmas. Okay. We have Independence Day. Don't say July 4th. Don't ever wish an American who knows his Constitution. Don't ever say Happy July 4th. Because July was created by Julius Caesar. Julius Caesar created July. He was a Roman emperor, a dictator who created July. Augustus created August. So Julius Caesar created July, which is great. Thanks, Julius. We appreciate you, man. But our independence from the British was on July 4th. So when you say Happy Independence Day, you're telling me you're a freaking patriot and you support that. You know, we kicked the British ass and we kicked them out of our country, right? It was hundreds of years ago. We're friends with the British now. We love the British now, but back in the time. So you say Happy Independence Day. If you wish an American Happy July 4th, some of them are going to look at you like, what the heck, dude? Why are you giving a salutation to Julius Caesar? Francois, another super chat. Another super chat. Thank you to you both of you. Continued live stream dedication. Francois, Mountain Dew salute first for Francois. Now, Francois, she flew all the way to the United Arab Emirates, okay, to be with Hamid, her beautiful prometida. She saved his K1 visa. Mountain Dew salute. She saved his K1 visa on the second interview, right? Francois, you saved the K1, and now he's here in America. Where? In upstate New York. Let me see here. K Messenger, SSBN 625. That's the USS Henry Clay. And I think it was commissioned. I can't remember when it was commissioned, but I've been on the deck of that submarine. I haven't been inside it, but I've been on top of it. Larry Piercy, you think Trump all the way? Listen, Larry, there is no question in my mind that Trump's going to win the election. Trump's going to win the election. Americans are sick and tired of being destroyed economically. You know, I don't care if you're black, Latino, Chinese, red, whatever color your skin is, it does not matter. People like to eat and they want to buy cars and buy houses. They want to be able to buy their kids toys at Christmas. They want to be able to afford to do things. Biden-Harris made it almost impossible to do that. Have you seen the price of a freaking house these days? It's insane. Trump's going to win, okay? It's going to be like a Reagan landslide of 1980, I think it was, where Reagan won every freaking state in America except for Minnesota. He won 49 out of 50 states. He didn't win Minnesota. Walter Mondale won Minnesota, but he won all the other states. I think Trump could win New York. He can't win California. California's got the massive voter fraud going on, in my opinion. I mean, I'm sure there's a way to prove it. But when Governor Newsom came out and said you don't have to show an ID to vote in California, I rest my case. So, Red Rillo, did you use FedEx or UPS for your green card application? They should have sent you a notification that they delivered it. King Messenger, Trump is our current and only hope. You meant to say he is our only hope. Yeah. Trump is the only hope for Republicans, Democrats, conservatives, liberals. He does not care what your party affiliation is. He just wants to see our country back the way it was before these idiots got in office and destroyed our country economically and opened up our borders to all these illegal immigrants. We don't know who the hell's in the country. We don't know. Why is it Karina had to go through a medical exam, and you guys, you go through a medical exam, a biometrics test, you got to go through a K-1 visa interview at the at the visa interview in the embassy. You got to fill out all this freaking paperwork. You got to pay all these immigration or consular fees. And then you got to wait a year and a year and a half, 2 years to get a permission slip to come to America, where Kamala Harris and Joe Biden opened up the southern border and said, come on in, you're going to get a free pass. Well, I know for a fact that people that come here legally, like Karina and you guys, are not very happy with that. I'm not happy with that. Let me see. Francois, going to be seeking your assistance in a week or so. Francois, we are always here for you. We're going to help you get the green card. We're going to make sure that you're going to get it without another interview. And we're going to make sure that you get it without any RFEs. I'm going to help you. I'm going to help you. 211 Scooter. I meant if I moved while we are waiting on the I-130 approval, will it prolong the I-130 process? No, it won't prolong anything. The processing time won't change. But immigration's got to know where you're at. They got to know where you're living, so they know where to send correspondence. It will not change the processing time. Nothing's going to change. K Messenger. Sorry, Larry. Do not drink. K Messenger. Just big fingers on the iPhone. Yeah, I'm the same way. K Messenger, correct. Can't talk about what we had or did not carry. Don't do it. I can't. I know what you carry. I know what you did. I can't talk about it. You can't talk about it. Unlike Joe Biden, when he was at a journalist dinner, and do you remember when SEAL Team 6, they took out Osama bin Laden in Pakistan? And that was top secret. That was way above top secret. That mission was so highly classified, it was above top secret. Okay? But Joe Biden knew about it. So what did he do at the journalist dinner? He said, I want to congratulate the SEAL Team 6 members for their successful mission in getting Osama bin Laden. He just let the cat out of the bag, identified the team, identified the people. And what does that do? It puts the families in jeopardy. All the wives and the husbands and the wives and the brothers and the sisters and the aunts and the uncles and the kids, the children, correction, of the SEAL Team 6 members, those families' lives were put in grave jeopardy. So where they were living in wherever they live, they had a massive police security. Boom, immediately. The federal government had to put police protection on those family members. Why? Because Joe Biden is a freaking incompetent idiot who told everybody who the people were that did the mission. What he should have said was, I want to congratulate those folks that took out Osama bin Laden. And that's all you say. But he didn't do that. He identified the team. I'm going to say nothing else about that. But Francois, thank you for those super chats. You're keeping me in Mountain Dew and Karina and Hardy's big breakfast. Let me see here. Now, K Messenger, we can't talk about lots of things, but that's all good. Chris and Emma, let's open up Keystone Pipeline. That's right. When Biden was put in the White House, when he got installed into the White House, the first thing he did was cancel the Keystone Pipeline. From Canada, oil deliveries from Canada via a pipeline instead of by truck. So what happened to the price of gas when he did that? It went up, what, $1 in about 2 weeks? I don't know if it went up $1 in 2 weeks. I'm just guessing. But you know what I'm talking about. Trump's going to open up the Keystone Pipeline. Francois Livingston to Chris and Emma to Francois. Someone hit that jackpot. What is the jackpot? Francois Livingston, right. We were at the U.S. Embassy not even 10 minutes with the consular. It was so quick. Yeah, because all you had to do, Francois, was show your face with Hamid at the embassy. The consular officer didn't deny the K-1 visa. He just wanted to see you. He just wanted to see you. Boom. You showed up. Bye. And there's the K-1 approved. Hannah, regarding the biometrics for the adjustment of status, USCIS will use the same ones for the I-765 work. Yes, Hannah, the biometrics is used for the work permit, the EAD document, whatever you want to call it, the 765, and it is also used for the green card. And it's included in the price that you paid, $1,440. I'll write it down right here. This is how much a green card costs. $1,440. That's the price of the green card, and then you got to pay $200. I think it's $265. I think it's $265. I think that's the price for the work permit. And you add those two numbers together, and you make out a check to U.S. Department of Homeland Security. Okay, and then that includes the biometrics for the work permit and for the green card. You go to the biometrics, you get your fingerprints taken, they take a photo, you sign your name so Homeland Security can see your full name. That protects you as a beneficiary. So if somebody can't forge your signature, Homeland Security has it on file. And then you go to your biometrics appointment. And let me see, Francois, it was a quick 10 minutes for you in the embassy. You got to go to the U.S. Embassy in the United Arab Emirates. Oh, it's $260, that's right. It's $260 for the work permit. And Karina, I'm glad she's here. She's my eyes. It's $260 for the work permit, and it's $265 for the consular interview. All right, for your scary green card interview. So it's $260 for the work permit and $265 for the consular interview. And I have to write it out there so people can see it. Okay. Plus, I had to correct my mistake. $260 is for the work permit, and it's a lot of money. Getting a K-1 visa, getting a green card, it's not cheap, guys. And immigration are very strict on income. Yeah, they say you got to make $25,550. That's 125% of the minimum income for the poverty guidelines for the federal government. And who creates that number? The Center for Disease Control, CDC, they create that number. They're the ones that made that number, 25,550. Where they come up with it, I don't know. But that's Biden's CDC. They're the ones that control it. Hannah, spousal visa is cheaper and easier. It's cheaper, but it's not easier. With a spousal visa, a CR1, if you've been married, if you're married less than 2 years, it's a CR1 spousal visa. If you've been married longer than 2 years, if I married Karina, and then I was in Florida and she was in Colombia for 3 years, then it would be an IR1 visa. When you file for the spousal visa with a form I-130, your wife will wait in Colombia, in whatever country she lives in. So Karina would have had to wait for me in Colombia, and I would have been here in Florida. Well, I would have been in Colombia too, but you see what I'm saying? The spousal visa separates families longer than the K-1. Okay? With the spousal visa, you apply for it, the I-130 gets approved, and then you get the green card at the embassy. And it's a little bit less money. It's cheaper. But you are separated from each other while the process is going on. With a K-1 visa, it costs a little bit more money, but Karina came to America January 3rd, 2024. We applied for the green card here in America, and guess what we did while we went? Where was Karina while she was waiting for her green card? She was right here with me. We weren't separated. So we're waiting for the green card, but we're together, right? We're together. If we'd have got married in Colombia, which would have been a little difficult to do because Karina's from Venezuela, I'm an American. So the Colombian government would have said, well, I don't know. You're Venezuelan, I'm American. I don't know. This is Colombia. I don't know if we could have done that. I'm pretty sure there's a way around it. There's always a way around everything. But we would have been separated from each other longer. And I would rather spend more money and be with Karina. So I'm always going to advocate a K-1 over a spousal visa. Every day I'm going to say, go with the K-1. With a spousal visa, you have to go through all kinds of hoops. You got to upload documents to the National Visa Center. You got to make sure you don't mess up. Let's suppose you got a document right here, I don't know, and you mess it up a little bit on the printer and you upload it to the National Visa Center. Let's suppose you upload your tax return to the National Visa Center and you missed it just a little bit and they can't read it properly. They're going to send you an email. We can't read your tax return. Redo it. That puts you in another month. That puts you back another month waiting and waiting and waiting, and you're separated. I do not recommend a spousal visa, guys. I just don't. It's a headache for the National Visa Center level, and you're separated. Let me see. Spousal visa is cheaper. That's correct. Is it easier? No. It's harder. It's harder because of separation and because of all the legwork you got to do. When you file a K-1 visa, the stuff goes to Louisville, Texas, right? Via FedEx or whatever, UPS. Then it goes to the service center, probably California or Texas or Nebraska. Then once they adjudicate it, it goes to the National Visa Center. They send it to the embassy, and then you schedule the visa interview. Right? That's how the K-1 visa process is. With a spousal visa, you submit it to Louisville, Texas. They send it to a service center. They adjudicate it. They send it to the National Visa Center. And then you have to wait for the National Visa Center to contact you. And then you have to update all the freaking paperwork. You got to scan your passport, her passport, birth certificates, translations, tax returns, W-2s, tax transcripts, photos, proof of assets. It's a nightmare. And then if you mess up on the National Visa Center level with the upload, if you don't scan it properly, then you're going to be stuck in a holding pattern while you have to fix it. Forget that. I'm going to put a K-1 visa package together. I'm going to put, in Karina's case, I let USCIS take care of it. The NVC got it. They sent it to Bogota, and then I scheduled the interview. And now Karina came here, and she waited for her green card with me in Florida. K Messenger, you guys have a great day. All right, K Messenger, we'll talk to you later. K Messenger, thanks for that super chat. Larry Piercy, why an interview? Why an interview for what? Chris and Emil, interview is to come to the United States. Right, yeah, the $265 is the consular fee. Right? I had to pay $265 to the U.S. Embassy in Bogota to pay for Karina's scary visa interview. Not the DS-160. The DS-160 is a free form. No cost. The DS-1, I had a person message me in YouTube, in the channel, Diego, I'm trying to pay for my DS-160. I've spent all day trying to find out where to freaking pay for it. And I said, well, I don't want to bust your bubble, but it's free. You fill it out, sign it, send it, and print the confirmation page. That's how the DS-160 works. If you are in a spousal visa, CR1 or IR1 spousal visa, you fill out a DS-260. What does DS stand for? Department of State. It's a Department of State form. Larry Piercy is CDC. The CDC is controlled by Joe Biden. K Messenger, is a true statement the green card interviews with a good packet submission is not likely. That's correct. Do not forget the initial application fee of $545. Well, make sure you check because it could be the price for a green card or a K-1 visa, the price of a K-1 visa before you submit your K-1 visa application to the lockbox in Louisville, Texas. You got to make sure you're using the correct edition date of the I-129F. You got to make sure you fill the check out correctly to the U.S. Department of Homeland Security, and you got to make sure that you're putting in the right amount. So many people get their initial K-1 visas rejected, not denied, rejected, because you screwed up the paperwork or forgot to sign something. You forgot to sign the I-129F. Chris and Emil, New York Yankees versus LA Dodgers. Okay, that's how interesting. Larry Pierce and Karina, Mr. Diego needs to do a TRH. Well, okay, Larry, we're all in on a TRH. K Messenger. All right, K Messenger, you have a great day. And I'm going to put lots more spring. I got this pixie dust, I tell you, has helped so many people get their green cards and their K1 visas. I don't know. Larry Piercy doesn't like the pixie dust. So maybe I should just take the top off and just dump it over Larry, and then he'll get his green card quicker. Well, his wife will. Now, Larry, his green card, his wife is from Thailand. Okay, Francois Livingston, her husband is from Morocco, but he went through the K1 visa process in the United Arab Emirates. Okay, lots of people here from the Philippines, lots of wives coming to the United States, future wives from the beautiful Philippines, and lots of folks watching us from England, Australia, Nigeria, Chad, the Ivory Coast, Pakistan. There's lots of folks in Pakistan watching us. We say hi to you guys. Let's give everybody in Pakistan a Mountain Dew salute. Now, throw questions for me. If you don't have any questions for me, then I'll be back. What's today? What KDO? Today's Monday. I'll do another live stream tomorrow if you want. Tuesday. Karina, she's going to be resting. She gets up at 3 o'clock in the morning and go to work. Yeah, to commence 3 a.m. but to Levante 3 a.m. She gets up at 3 and starts work at 4. And so she's tired, and here she is right now on a live stream for you guys. So if you want me to do a live stream 5 days a week, it's your channel. It's up to you. Larry Piercy, can you give me a ring? I don't have a phone. Larry, I don't use the phone. I don't use the phone. Larry, Karina has the phone with her. I don't ever call anybody. I do live stream. I spent 20 years, I spent 18 years with Mercedes-Benz, okay, selling cars. Clients would call me 100 million times a day with questions about their Mercedes. And I promised myself, when I retired from the Navy, I promised myself I would never wear a wristwatch again, because I was always working from a wristwatch. What time is it? What time is it? I'm working off a wristwatch. When I retired from the Navy, the wristwatch came off and it went in the drawer. I don't even know where it is. Then I spent 18 years selling Mercedes-Benz and BMWs. And I would be on the phone 1 million times a day. Okay? When I retired from Mercedes-Benz, I said, I am not going to be using a freaking phone anymore. And I didn't. I didn't buy a phone. The only reason I got this iPhone was because Karina was in Colombia and I was here. I needed to communicate with her in WhatsApp. That's what it was. I spoke to one person on this phone. It was Karina. In WhatsApp. Larry, I think Larry's got it. Larry's got it. Okay, live stream tomorrow. Yes, I'll do a live stream tomorrow. And with that said, because I'm going to be here tomorrow, I'm going to log off. Chris and Emil. Oh, Larry, did you drop your Budweiser can on the floor? Don't forget Denise Jefferson. No. Francois, we never forget Denise Jefferson. No. Now, Denise Jefferson, her husband is from Nigeria. Okay? And they live in Utah. Kenneth is his name. So Denise Jefferson and Kenneth are happily married in beautiful Utah, which is north of Nevada. And so winter's coming in. And then Larry is married to Mogi, Mogi's from Thailand. But I'll be back tomorrow at 6 p.m. Thanks, guys. See you tomorrow.